So, I am Philippe Merle from INRIA. I'm a researcher at INRIA. And today I will talk to you about mobile cloud robotics. And this presentation will be a lot software engineering oriented. And in fact, I will talk about robot as a black box for me. I don't go inside the robot. So this presentation is a presentation I presented last year at the International Conference of Congress of Internet of Things. So this work will be done with some colleagues at INRIA, Nathalie Mitton and Christophe Gourdin. And this paper obtained the best paper award during this conference. So my topic is about mobile robotics. And in fact, we could see mobile robotics as a special kind of Internet of Things. So, in the Internet of Things, we have various things that are connected through the networks. And mobile robotics could be seen as a special kind of things. So here we have three kinds of robots. In the left part here, you have Lego Mindstorm robots. You have drones, and you have also Turtle bots robots. So this is just to put where we are. We are on the mobile robotics, that robots that could move. And in fact, we could see also car or agricultural machine or any kind of real robots. Here it's just tools. Cloud robotics, most of the time, is to allow robots to access resources in the cloud. So, cloud computing is a facility to have access to virtual machine, virtual storage, virtualized application, and most of the time in the domain of cloud robotics, the work are done on computation outsourcing. That if you have some complex computation that you would not put inside the robot, you could move this computation to the cloud computing and use this remote computation remotely. In fact, the goal is to reduce, for instance, the cost of the robot. You could, in this robot, for instance, you have few resources. So if you want to do image analysis, for instance, perhaps it could be better, it could be cheaper to put the image processing in the cloud and reduce the processing capability of the drone. This is one of the main usage of cloud robotics. Move the computation in the cloud. Another another usage of the cloud computing with robots is to use the cloud computing to share data between the robots. For instance, two drones could share their environment, the image that they take, and send this image to the cloud, and other robots could access to this image or to this data. So there is two main related work. For computation outsourcing, there is a platform named DaVinci that are one of the key work on this domain. And for data sharing, there is another platform named RoboWorks. So this is one way to see the interaction between robots and cloud computing. In fact, the robots are clients of resources put in the cloud. Could be virtual processing or virtual storage. But another way to see the relation between cloud and robotics is to see the robots as a service. In the same spirit that processing, data, application, network are now resources in the cloud. So, in this view, in fact, what we would like is to control robots remotely. In the same way that we control virtual machine or application in the cloud. So we would like to allocate a robot. So say to the system, give me a robot that could take the temperature and produce image. So I explain my request. And the system will find a robot that is available to do this work. In the same way that when we are in the cloud, we say, I would like a virtual machine that could run Linux with 10 megahertz, 10 gigahertz, and a certain quantity of memory. And when the system obtained this resource, it gave me, and I could use it. And I could consider that during the renting, the resource is just for me, and I am alone to use the resource. So this is another view of the relation between cloud and robotics. And here is to see robots as resource in the cloud. Just like we have a virtual machine, disk, and network. This is totally another view. So, in this context, the main problem is there is a wide variety of mobile robots. And each kind of model of mobile robot use its own protocol to be managed. So there is really a wide variety. For instance, Lego Milestone use Bluetooth as a protocol to control them remotely. Totalbot use Internet protocol and especially SSH. In the Totalbot there is a workstation running Linux, and we accept to this workstation, this this working station by SSH, for instance, and for the power of drone, we accept via Wi-Fi. So these three examples really where we have a diversity of protocol, and then could be a problem, a mess to manage a fleet of heterogeneous mobile robots, because for each robot we need to manage the specific protocol of this robot. So, in fact, here we have a classical problem of heterogeneity of mobile robots. And what we would like is to have some standard protocol to manage any kind of mobile robots. So, this is the heart of our proposal. That this proposal is named Open Mobile Cloud Robotics Interface, and this interface defines a model and a protocol to remotely control any kind of robots, and especially mobile robots, but could be also non-mobile robots. And in this, with this interface, we see the robots as resources, as the same kind of resources that we see in cloud computing platform. This interface is based on a standard. This standard is named Open Cloud Computing Interface, OCI. And this standard is implemented on something that we name OCIware, that is a platform for supporting the OCI standard that I will describe later. So, this is the key part of our contribution. So, some point on OCI. So, OCI is an open cloud computing means open cloud computing interface. So, this is an interface, a protocol to remotely access to cloud computing resources. And this interface is open in the mind that it is defined by a group of actors. These actors work together to define this standard. And this standard is hosted by the Open Grid Forum Consortium, named OGF. And the core of this standard is a model of what is the cloud resources and a REST-based API to access, control remotely the resources. And the originality of this standard is not dedicated to a certain kind of resources, but it could be used for any kind of resources. So, in this figure, in this picture, we see the main part of this standard. In fact, the core concept of this standard is defined in the OCI core, and I will see you some elements later. And this core defines the key notion of resources. And after, these resources could be accessed by any kind of protocol, a network protocol. Currently, the only specified protocol is HTTP, the web protocol. And when we interact with the resource, we could talk with two languages. We could use text or JSON request to interact with the resource. And the code defines, this part is independent on the nature of the resource. And the code just defines the notion of resources. And then the code gives the power to define our own resources. So we could define a set of resources for infrastructure, platform, SLA, for instance. These are the main main extension of OOKI that are already defined in the standard. And what we propose is to define a new extension named Mobile Cloud Robotics. And this extension is in fact, I think that it doesn't see correctly the color. So normally there is green box, yellow box, and blue box. I think that you don't see any green or yellow box. Okay. Not a big issue. So, in fact, in OOKI define a set of core concepts that, to simplify, these concepts are very near to object orientation concept. In fact, we have a notion of entity, some like an object, and this notion of entity could be split in two parts. There is resource and there is a link. Resource could represent, for instance, a virtual machine, or a disk, or a mobile robot. And link define a relation between two resources. For instance, a link could be the internet, the network interface of a computer that creates a relation between a computer resource and a network resource. A link could be an attachment of volume to a computer. So this is just a notion to represent the relation between two resources. So in mobile cloud robotics, we currently only use the notion of resource. And what we define is an abstract part of our model. We define the notion of robot. And after, we define two mixing for this robot. Some mixing are sensor and some mixing are actuator. So some mixing are to capture information through the robot, and other actuator is more to move the robot or ask the robot to do something.
You know, Philippe, that there are some devices that do both?
I'm sorry?
There are devices that do both sensing and actuating.
Yes.
So you will be able to map those roles to the same device at some point?
Yes. I don't exactly understand.
I mean, there are actuators where when you call them to do something, they will return you a value that is something coming from a sensor.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And so you have a device that is both a sensor and an actuator at the same time.
Yes. Some robots could be both. Here the idea is we have two notions, sensor and actuator, and when we create the robot, we could set the list of mixing of this robot. So the robot could have several sensors and several actuators. But I will not to enter in the detail of how we modelize with Oki. Just what we propose is an abstraction of what is a robot. It's just a resource. And a robot could have two kinds of features, sensor and actuator. And after we could specialize this notion to create different sensor types and actuator types. And then we could create a robot by composing this. We design robot resources by composing this sensor and actuator. Here is at the design time, what we do at the design time with OMCRI, or interface for mobile robots. So, after, what we do, in fact, all this work, in fact, at one time, we have a gateway between the internet on the top and the robots on the bottom. And this gateway, what does this gateway? It's an Oki server that deals with the standard Oki protocol, HTTP, with the rendering and with the Oki model. So this part is a generic Oki implementation. And after, what we do is to host the mobile cloud robotic extension inside this server, and through connector we communicate with real robots. In fact, the connectors are just adapters between the abstract model that we defined previously and the concrete protocol of the robots. I will show the detail. So we have seen the OMCRI extension that I presented previously. And the gateway is where the resources are executed, are hosted. And what we do with a designer, we define new type of sensor and actuator, new type of robots. And then he will define this through an environment dedicated to Oki modeling. So this is the Okiware Studio. So it's just a model-driven toolchain to design and do other activity with Oki in mind. And with this Oki Studio, we will generate the adapter, the connector, implementation code. And Now, a developer specialist to the robot, the protocol of the robot, will define the code specific, will implement the code specific to the robot. So he will use the protocol to access the robot. It's not the same thing to use Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, for instance, and the messages are not the same. And we take both the connector implementation code and the specific robot code and we deploy them to the gateway. And now the gateway could receive interaction from a user and send to the connector, and this connector will communicate with the robot. So, to go into detail, in fact, when we define a robot type, the studio helps us to generate automatically some code. And in fact, this code is implemented in this class. Implementation, and the studio also generates a skeleton of the business robot code, and the user, the developer, will complete this code simply by implementing some generic CRUD operation. In fact, as we talk about resource, we have operation to create, retrieve, update, and delete resources. So, in fact, create is to, for instance, we could create the channel to the robot. Delete, we could free the channel. Retrieve could be the operation to send a request to the robot to obtain its state, and update could be a request to update its state. And after, we have the business robotic specific methods that we will implement. So this part is not take. In fact, the framework stops at the interface between the connector and the robot, and this part, to be complicated, must be written by a developer, and there is no help to implement this part currently. And then, when we have done all this steps, we could use the mobile robot as a service. So, to communicate, to create, for instance, a mobile robot resource, we will send a request to the Humcree gateway, asking to create a robot. So, for instance, this is the syntax used in the JSON syntax. An example. This is a JSON example where we say that we would like to create a Mindstorm, a Lego Mindstorm robot. We say that this resource must have two mixing, so one motion actuator to move and one color sensor to detect a color. In fact, in Mindstorm, Lego Mindstorm, there is some capture to detect color. It's not a camera, but it's just a color sensor. And we could define some attribute. So for instance, the attribute here is the network address of the physical robot, because the connector needs to communicate with the physical robot. And we could define what is the default speed of the robot when we move, and what is the color of the lamp of the robot. And then we define what we build the location of the resource, what is the URL of the resource that we use to control the networks. And same for the update. We send a request. We say to which robot resource we would like to address, and we give the new value or some attributes of the robot. And to execute an action on a robot, we will send a request where we say what is the resource, the robot resource we would like to move, and then something that uniquely identifies the action that we want to do. Here is move forward, the robot will move. So, just one video to if this is one. This helped me to have a break for 1 minute. So, in this video, we start the gateway, and we configure this gateway to host the extension for mobile robots. And then we send requests, so you could not see, but here are the message, the JSON message that we send to the cloud, the robot resources, and this allows to move the robot. In this other video, I think that the client program send requests to, in parallel, move the two robots. I bring just a video because I take all the material is a bit complex. Even if these are small robots. Okay, so recently we had a new feature on this platform. One feature is to have a dedicated designer for OnCrete, and this designer helps us to draw a configuration of robots. We take on the palette, we take robots and put on the configuration, and for each robot resource we could configure its attributes. And also for each robot we could call the CRUD operation or the business operation of this robot. So here we have the list of CRUD operation, and we could have also in some menu the list of business operation of the robot. And this, instead to write, to send by hand HTTP request, here we have a studio where we interact with the robot directly. So we have done one key iteration could be we put abstraction between the user and the physical robot, and we could ask if this abstraction had an overhead or not, and if we had an overhead, what is the quantity of time, of memory that we use. So we have done a lot of micro benchmark. I will not detail all. One element that is interesting is, for instance, you will send a turn left on a Lego Mindstorm robot, and that this turn left is 19 degrees. This action will take 55 milliseconds to be executed. And in fact, around 54 milliseconds is dedicated to the physical robot to do the moving. And the time and the overhead introduced by Humphrey is just 1 millisecond in this case. So it's not negligible, but it's very small to the gain that we have in terms of abstraction and hiding of heterogeneity. So the conclusion of this contribution is that we have defined a new interface named Open Mobile Cloud Robotic Interface that hides the heterogeneity of mobile robots and allow to interact with any kind of mobile robot with one through only one way. And to do this, in fact, we put an abstraction between the user and the mobile robots, and this abstraction is based on the ROCI standard and is implemented as a gateway, as an adapter. This approach uses a model-driven approach. So the perspective for this work would be various. Currently, we don't put progress on this topic because we don't have the resource on this topic. But it's not. It's just a question of time and effort to obtain resource. One idea is to add to validate, experiment the approach with other mobile robots. So in the first time we have used toys robots, but in our laboratory we have also real industrial robots. So we could play to control these robots via our platform. But it's less dangerous to use toys that a real robot. The prices are not the same if we have a crash. One other perspective is to embed currently, the gateway run at the edge of the network on some computer. But one perspective is to move for certain kind of robots, to move the gateway inside the robot. Because some robots have the capability of our computer. So we could put the same software. Some robots run Linux, run Windows, or other operating systems. So even if the robots are embedded things, in fact they could be big and they could have a lot of computing capability. So we could imagine to put the MP gateway inside industrial robots or car for autonomous car. And what will be interesting in the future is to distribute the computation between the robot, the gateway, the edge, the frog, and the cloud computing. Because the idea is to put the computation at the best place, depending on what we want to do. Do you want to control locally the robot, or do we want to coordinate a set of robots? And the computation should move from one place to another place. That's all. I will conclude. I think that I have some minutes for questions.
Yeah, can take a few minutes for questions. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Yes, I have a question about the. You explained that there is a part which is developed by a single developer, which was on slide 11.
Yes.
And do you plan to create some community of developers to capitalize on that code, because it will be interesting? Because I suspect that for every, if you consider drones, for example, you may have many very similar drones, maybe a little bit different, but not exactly similar. So it can be interesting to exchange the code which is developed to avoid writing all from scratch every
Yes.
time, and it could encourage people to use the platform.
Yes, yes. Currently, we have put all the platform on GitHub, but we don't have currently we don't have the energy to organize a community around this project. But this life.
I have one question. Do you plan at some point to take into account the time constraints, the guarantees that would be needed if you try to, enter in really controlling, having distant control, or you said coordinating different robots that would have, let's say, some autonomy, and so a real control loop running on them, and so you have to intervene in that.
It could be an interesting perspective. But currently we don't have identified this as, or would like perspective, but it's interesting. There is a lot of things that we could do around this kind of.
Okay. Any other question before we move into the final talk of this morning? Okay, thank you, Philippe.